Hey everybody, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train, and in today's video I am showing you how to make easy, healthy, and filling meal prep breakfast bowls. If you've been following me for a while, you know that meal prep is kind of my jam. I'm able to do all of my meal prep, which includes like making breakfast or snacks or chopping vegetables, in just 1 hour per week. And a lot of you said, well, how do you do that? And I have plenty of videos that show you a lot of my meal prep sessions. I've got the playlist linked in the description if you guys want to check that out. One of the most filling breakfasts for me would have to be meal prep bowls. And meal prep bowls can be any number of things, especially for breakfast. There are so many different options that you can use. You can do scrambled eggs, you can do any kind of meat like sausage, turkey sausage, bacon, ham, anything you can think of. Any kind of carb like shredded hash browns, sweet potatoes, even rice and quinoa, and of course vegetables and some kind of a healthy fat like cheese. And in this particular meal prep bowl, I added a whole bunch of different things. The main vegetable being butternut squash because it is fall and butternut squash is on sale. Super delicious, by the way. Today I'm just showing you my option for making my fall breakfast bowls, but like I said, there are so many different things that you could add to it. If you don't like turkey bacon, you can replace it with regular bacon or sausage or no meat at all. If you don't want to add 2 eggs per bowl, you can have just 1. It all depends on your calorie needs and just your taste in general. These particular bowls that I made were for John, and they are higher in calorie. That way he could go a little bit longer without having to grab like a whole bunch of snacks. And during the video, I'm going to give you plenty of tips on what you could add instead or what you could take out instead to make it either lower calorie or lower fat, lower carb. The one thing you're going to see is that this butternut squash does take a while to cook. It actually took me a whole hour just to make these meal prep bowls. So if you don't have that kind of time or don't want to waste all your energy to cut up a butternut squash, buying bags of pre-chopped squash, whether they're like the frozen bags or the fresh ones you find in the produce section, those will work just fine as well. The one thing I noticed is that those are a lot more expensive. But you know what? I did the math actually, and I made, I think it was like a 4-pound squash. In order to get that much squash from pre-made or pre-chopped, you would need to only pay like $3 or $4 extra for that particular squash. And if paying an extra $3 or $4 is worth saving like 30-45 minutes in the kitchen, that is a really good option. But for those who want to save money, I'm showing you how to chop up your own squash and how to roast it yourself for these bowls. So with all that being said, let's get started. If you chose to buy a whole butternut squash, the first thing we need to do is chop it up to roast it. Now I'm poking this with a fork all over because the easiest way to chop the squash is to microwave it first. So I'm going to microwave it for 2 minutes and that'll get it just soft enough for me to cut it open. It's going to make it so much easier to slice. So the first thing I do is cut off the bottom and then the top, and then I slice it right down the middle. As you can see, there are tons of seeds on the inside, so I just take a cookie scoop and scoop out all of the seeds. And then next you have to peel it. Can you see why sometimes buying pre-cubed would be a much better option? I think the whole process took about 10 minutes to do all of this. And then I just slice it a little bit just like this all the way down, and then I cut them into cubes. And I think they're maybe like 1/2 inch wide or something like that. So small enough that it doesn't take very long to roast them. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees. I ended up using 2 cookie sheets for all of this. And I made enough for, I think it was 8 or 9 cups of cubed squash. So 6 of them will go in the meal prep bowls, and then I used the other 2 cups for just other side items for dinner. So finally, 15 minutes later, I sprinkled all of it with some salt and pepper and then some onion powder. If I had had some garlic powder, I would have poured that on top as well. But then I stuck these in the oven for 30 minutes. Next, I need to get the bacon together. I have the Garrett Valley uncured turkey bacon. You can use whatever kind of bacon you want. You don't even have to use bacon. But I am baking mine in the oven, which is honestly the easiest way for me to make bacon. I just take a cookie sheet, line it with aluminum foil, and then you bake it for about 15 minutes. So you can see in here, I've got all of it squeezed into the oven. While all that is cooking, I am getting all of the eggs ready. Like I said, I am making these really big for John because I wanted him to be able to stay full throughout the day. If you wanted a little bit less, just use 6 eggs instead of 12 because that will get you about 1 egg per bowl. And using only 1 egg instead of 2 will actually save you about 70 calories. I added maybe a half cup of milk and then whisked that all together. Added some salt and pepper as well. I poured all of it into a pot that was already heated up. I sprayed it a little bit with cooking spray so it didn't stick quite as much. And I didn't scramble them fully. It was mostly done, but I wanted it to be a little bit wet because I was going to cook it just a little bit longer with these shredded hash browns. Once I was all finished, I took out all the eggs and put them in a bowl, just set it aside for now, because next up is the frozen shredded hash browns. Now, this is just easiest for me to use the frozen shredded ones. The only ingredient is potatoes. I wanted 1 cup each in each bowl, so I used 6 cups of the shredded hash browns. I also poured in just a little bit of water to help it cook easier. And then once that cooked a little bit, I added the eggs back in and mixed it all together. I seasoned it a little bit more with onion powder and salt and pepper. I let that cook for a few extra minutes. Now at this point, the bacon was done. Now this is turkey bacon, mind you, so I know it doesn't look like it's fully cooked, but turkey bacon looks different when it's cooked. So these were fully done. Then I broke them all into smaller chunks and added them straight to the pot, and then mixed that all together. I was going to say too, if you don't want to use the shredded hash browns, you could easily do like sweet potatoes. You could roast those in the oven as well. You could also use quinoa or even rice as your grain, just something for a carb option, or just leave it out altogether. The butternut squash is fully done. I actually got them out about halfway through just to give it a good stir, but they're fully roasted, so let's prep the bowls. I started out with 1 cup in each one, and then I looked at how much I had left. I put maybe an extra spoonful or so into each one as well, and then I topped it off with a cup of the butternut squash. I love looking at these bowls because it is so full of food. These are 2-cup containers that I got at Dollar Tree. Last but not least, I topped each one with a 4th cup of shredded cheddar. I think feta cheese might be good on it as well, especially if you add quinoa to it. But after you put on the cheese, these bowls are done. I'm gonna leave the nutrition info up here for you. Now you can put these in the fridge. They'll stay fresh for up to a week. You can also freeze these. Just put the lids on and put them straight into the freezer like that. And then put one in the fridge overnight. When you want to eat it the next morning, it'll thaw out. You can also defrost it in the microwave for a minute or 2 before you're ready to eat it in the morning. But these were excellent breakfast and they kept John full for quite a while. I hope this gave you some inspiration to make your own meal prep bowls, or at least make something for breakfast to last you the entire week. Even spending like 30 minutes to an hour in the kitchen on a Sunday afternoon can ensure that you have all the breakfast that you need for the week, or snacks, or even like chopped produce to help you out with dinner. I highly recommend doing some sort of meal prep. And in fact, I made a course called Meal Prep for Weight Loss that goes through the entire process of just calculating your calories to lose weight, how to do a meal prep session step by step, how to get started, the tools you need. I put all of that into an easy video course that you can see down below. I have the link for you in the description if you guys want to check that out. And leave me a comment and tell me, what kind of things do you like to add to your meal prep bowls? I have added spinach to mine before. I've also added rice cauliflower. Butternut squash is probably my favorite because I just think it's delicious. But let me know because I'm always looking for more ideas. And be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can be notified whenever more meal prep videos like this come out, or more grocery hauls, recipes, and meal planning tips. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later.